Start with our roll call. I think. There it is. All right. Emmanuel?
Here.
Crystal?
Here.
Akil? Asia? Andrea? Jeffrey?
Here.
Ted?
Yes.
Greg?
Here.
Maureen?
Here.
Daisy?
Present.
Dave?
Here.
Larney? Jeremy?
Here.
Michael?
Here.
And Shannon. All right. Well, before we jump into a robust agenda, do we have any audience participation today? Hi and welcome, everybody. Thanks for coming. All right. So today we have presentations. Are we starting with Michael?
That's further down the agenda.
He's like, what? Okay. So we'll just jump ahead to intern updates. Jess, you ready?
All right, I don't have a microphone, so let me know if you can't hear me.
I think we're good.
But I have 3 things that I've accomplished this month. One was I completed the summary of all the meetings, so I went through and I watched all the videos, I listened to all the audio meetings, and I read everyone's notes that sent them to me. And I compiled a summary, which I sent out to the group. Please let me know if you would like that edited in any way. And then you can use that if you would like to kind of get the diversity consultant up to date on what we're doing. So hopefully it can be used for that purpose. And then I also put it to the box that we're using for all of our documentation, so I've uploaded it to that as well. I've also been communicating with the diversity consultants, and Michael will fill us in more in depth on that. We have solidified basically from the ones that we've discussed previously. And I've also finalized my data gathering on police traffic stop data, which will be presented later at the Police and Justice meeting.
Excellent. Thank you. Does anybody have any questions?
Question, yes.
Yes,
I
Ms.
didn't get a
Walker.
copy. Did you email council of the presentations?
Oh, for the summary?
Yes,
You know what, I may not have emailed council, so if you'd like me to, I can send that back out.
please. And
Yeah.
Greg
Thank you.
Absolutely. It is in the
and
box.
Maureen, okay.
I can do that, it's uploaded to the box.
And-
Okay, I'll send it out to the rest. I think I only just read the main residents, but I will definitely send it out to everyone. I apologize for unincluding you.
No worries.
I figured you guys need so many emails, so I was like.
That's okay. We're used to it.
Other than that question from Ms. Walker, any other questions for Jess? Okay. Moving on to our subcommittee reports. Jeffrey, would you like to get us started with the Justice and Police Relations?
Sure. Justice and Police Relations met on the 25th. Was it the 25th?
I think so.
Yes, October 25th. And we came up with a list of ideas as far as community engagement is concerned, new ideas, because our meeting prior to that, we looked at some of the past ideas as far as community engagement. So we came up with a list of a variety of ideas as far as new ideas for community engagement. And then at some point in the future, we will try to narrow down, because we do have quite the long list. So we'll try to narrow down some ideas, so that when we do have our community outreach committee to come together, like, we are ready to participate in that discussion. And then for our upcoming meeting, we're going to start to look at the justice side of our subcommittee, analyzing some reports from Stowe Court, and a few other things as well. So that is it.
Thank you. Any questions for Mr. Tyus? Everybody's quiet today. This meeting is going to move quickly. All right. Hearing none, we'll move on to city employment diversity. Hi, Andrea.
Sorry about that.
You're fine.
I was not going to be it was going to be Michael talking about this.
So however you guys want to lead off, we're excited to hear.
Yeah. God, I'm traumatized right now. I think I traumatized the pharmacist.
Oh, no.
My kids got it shot.
Our subcommittee did not meet last week. We had the agenda items. We were waiting for proposals to come back from the consultants. So I'll just dive right into that portion of the agenda. Bring back to remembrance, at our last full committee meeting, we presented 4 consultants for consideration. We want to reach out to Dr. Tamika Taylor, Erica Merritt, Nicole Thomas, and Dr. Constance Longmire. We actually received 2 proposals back out of the 4. Unfortunately, Erica Merritt declined due to her own workload, and Nicole Thomas declined due to the suggested budget that was within the proposal that we sent out. I did ask Jessica, who did a tremendous job of communicating with these 4, to reach back out to Nicole Thomas just to find out, what her suggested budget was, or her quote was to do the work we wanted to be done, and she didn't respond back to that before this meeting, so we just want to let that So the 2 we have to present to full committee tonight are Dr. Tamika Taylor. Jessica put the proposal into the box, I believe, for all of you to review that proposal, and a proposal response summary from Dr. Constance Longmire, just kind of explaining what her team could do. And so the thought is that we would look at tonight which proposal the full committee wanted to go to, or what our next steps would be. For me, the thought process is that since this is a full committee consultant, that this committee would be the one to choose kind of out of the 2 where we would go, and then have that person come in at our December meeting to meet with the full committee and answer any questions in regards to any further information in regards to that person's proposal.
Thank you, Michael. So I think the first question is, has everybody had the opportunity to review both? And I'm just going to be frank and say not with the day I've had, no. So is everybody okay with just pausing the meeting and taking time to look through these? I don't think we have a lot on the agenda.
You mean like right now?
Yeah?
I do have 1 printed copy as well.
Okay.
It's a few pages, so I didn't make a bunch of copies, but if anyone needs a printed copy, you can't get into the box right now.
Okay. So it's 6:10. What do you think? Is 15 minutes? Is 15 minutes sufficient? 15 to 20 minutes to look at both?
Yeah, why don't we just print a bunch so everybody can look at it?
And I'm happy to share my screen if you want to. Sure. So we'll call this recess for 15, 20 minutes. Alright, so that, I feel like this first page really is.
Come on, y'all. I'm gonna take my daughter's brains out tonight, y'all.
I'm still not done with my work day. I'm so sad about it.
Y'all talk about 15 minutes.
I know.
Half a break by then.
Well, she's sitting early and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna leave that at lunch, and then I didn't take a lunch break.
Yeah, we certainly could. Right, we certainly could, yeah.
This one is Tamika Taylor. Oh, iPad Pro. I thought it could replace my laptop.
I know what you're gonna
I still
say.
ended up having a bad laptop
I don't
too.
have a-
It
I don't have a
doesn't,
good answer
like the
for you, but
Office
sure.
apps don't do what I want them to do on here, but otherwise it's
Hey,
great
Jess,
for stuff like this.
in box, I'm just seeing the one. Are there,
So the one is the only one I uploaded there. The other one is
By Dr.
just
Taylor?
an email.
Me too,
Okay.
because I
Yeah,
can't
by
do
Dr.
it.
Okay.
Taylor, the one that's uploaded. The
Okay.
other one was just a basic email. I was kind of thinking Michael would just read that one.
Okay.
Because it's less than a paragraph.
okay, that's fine.
Oh, okay. Okay. I need y'all to not get me in trouble.
That's what I was gonna say. Is there someone who's read both? Yeah, I can get in some boxes for them.
That would be fabulous. Okay. This is great, but where is the actual? Okay, here we go.
No, they said that they're, I think that's somewhere down there. Yeah, it's a different company.
Tell me if I'm moving.
No, you're fine.
Okay. This is what I'm looking for, I think. Yeah. Maybe here.
Yeah, I'll be right with
Is this the shorter one? Perfect. I have the other one.
Thank you, sir. This is the other one? Okay.
May I contact you next?
You coming with a recommendation on this, sir? I thought so. Okay.
So I was hoping.
I'm just looking at this. Like,
Yes, this is it, that's it.
Thank you, sir.
yes, and this is, apparently the quote is also in this paragraph here.
See this?
I think there's elements in this that we don't.
Yeah, like this is so
But
well.
that being said,
One spectrum.
and the one that's a tiny little paragraph is 10 down low. Wait, I need to step away.
I mean, if they wouldn't do all of this for 6,000, let's say they decided.
This one's 10,000.
And that's, I mean, I think we're good. He said we only need 4 community members for a quorum, so we have enough to vote.
Wow, yeah. I have to check on that one if I can make that one work for my schedule. I'm going to, if I can, I will. Yeah. So. Yeah, I'll try to go to both of them. Yeah. Did you? Okay.
As you know, right now is a busy time of year, and then later, I think, before Christmas, we're gonna have to
Oh, are you really? Oh, good.
We're at 6:18. I'm looking around the room. It looks like most folks
Good.
are done. Does anybody need more time? Okay, so I think at this time, I'm going to go back to Michael and Andrea and just ask if you all would, I don't know, does anybody have questions that you would like them to field about the 2 consultants?
Just to confirm, all 4 consultants were given kind of the same survey or SOW or what have you? And, okay.
We created the scope of work.
Okay.
The scope of work, and just to send that out to all 4.
Okay, thank you.
Michael, did we went back and ask for a more detailed document from Dr. Constant?
No, we're not.
Any other questions? All right, so Michael and Andrea, can you tell us what our best case next steps are? Like, are you looking for a vote from the committee on somebody to move forward with? Or do you feel like you still need to interview?
So we're going back and forth with this a little bit. So, you know, there's 2 options. One option is that tonight, based off of this information that was given, that we go ahead and put it to the vote of who we would like to move forward with. If we do that, obviously this whole process is expedited and we can start moving towards having somebody come in and moving this committee along. The other option is that we bring the 2 people in and do an in-person interview to ask more questions, especially since Dr. Longmire didn't, you know, we just have a paragraph from her. And, you know, obviously and then we do the interview, possibly bring them into our next full committee meeting if anybody has specific questions, and then we put it to a vote. The other idea is that our subcommittee interviews them, and then we put forth who we feel it is the right candidate to the whole committee, and then we vote that way. So there's basically 3 options. We had a little bit of a differing on what option to go with. I will tell you my preference is either we put a vote tonight based on the information received, or that the subcommittee conducts an interview and we put forth the candidate for everyone to vote on at the December meeting. So those would be my 2 preferences, just to expedite the process and make sure we have someone hired and ready to go before the new year.
So based on what I'm reading here from Dr. Taylor, I feel that she's more than qualified. I think we should move forward. I mean, we're talking about 2 work sessions, so I don't think it's, going to be rocket science for her to complete that. So I'm prepared to vote. I don't know what the rest of the committee is.
Anybody else want to weigh in? I'm of the inclination that we do have enough information here to move forward with a vote. And I agree with Andrea that if we can move this forward before the new year, that would be outstanding.
Are you moving to call the vote? Because I like to second that.
So
I can. Wait, I'll entertain a motion to call the vote.
So moved.
So moved and second. All in favor of moving forward with Dr. Tamika Taylor as our consultant, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. It's unanimous. So let me just say thank you so much to our City Employment Diversity Committee for doing all this hard work, and absolutely to Jess for digging all these folks up and getting all this information before us. I think we're super excited. So if Andrea, you and your subcommittee could kind of take the lead on this, or Michael, I'm not sure, and reach out and get some things scheduled. I know we all committed to setting aside some personal time to make these sessions happen. So I want to reiterate that we all committed to setting aside some personal time to make these sessions happen. So please go ahead and get us moving. Thank you.
I was just coming back in December, when we do invite Dr. Taylor to come here to this meeting that we have 2 dates in January, ready to go for her. That gives us 2 months to kind of think about our schedules.
It's a great idea.
Can we do like a doodle survey or something like that and
Yeah.
pick a couple dates, and then we can all figure out who's most available?
We're going to gently look over at Jess and ask her if she will assist us in coordinating some dates.
Absolutely, let's get some emails going about what dates work best for everybody, and I can do a survey that we can all vote.
Thank you.
I would ask her first.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna communicate
Okay.
with her too, so we'll get her in the loop and figure out what dates she has available and how soon, and what that looks like, weekdays, weekends, what works best for you guys. Absolutely.
I guess just for the record, and I can probably speak for Daisy and myself, we recused ourselves. We didn't say anything during that because we personally know one of the candidates very well. So I didn't feel comfortable voting on it. And I'm sure Daisy's in the same position, but that doesn't change the vote because there's still plenty of people voting without us having to actually vote. Okay? All right.
Thank you for that. All right, so, well, that's great. We can all go home now. I'm joking. Unfinished business, anybody? I feel like that's been hanging over our heads for a couple months, so it's nice to have that done. Great. No unfinished business. How about new business? Anything new before the committee? Dave?
Just one thing that I think we have to address, we annually go out and post for any open positions on boards and commissions, and we have a process that we as a city have to follow, and Shannon has to get that out. So I know originally all of your appointments, I think, were for a 2-year appointment, and I think we ignored the first part of the year and then just counted last year as a full year. So this next year will be the second year of the 2-year appointment. But if there's anybody, and we'll have to touch base with Asia, but if there's anybody that doesn't want to continue in that seat, we do get quite a few people that have asked, when is this coming up? Are there going to be more appointments? Are there opportunities to be on the board? Let us know. So if there, what I ask you to do, and Shannon will send out a reminder, if you can just say, yes, I want to stay on, or no, open up my seat. We will do interview, or we'll post it, and I think April 1st is when they start.
Yeah, so we posted December, January interviews, February appointments in March, and new terms start April 1st.
We would have to advertise it December before, like 2 days after, or the next day after our next meeting. So that's why if you can think of this now, Shannon will send out a reminder, but if you just respond, either way, yes or no, I want in, then we'll know how many positions we have to advertise. Thank you.
Great, thank you, Dave. Maureen?
Well, this, I actually am done with council, so our next meeting, well, there'll be a new city council representative, right? Yeah. So I will be at the meeting Monday, hopefully, if we're still having the business, I'll be there after that in terms of on the 23rd.
Well, allow me to say on behalf of the entire committee while we're here, we absolutely appreciate you and your service to the committee. Thank you.
She's
We'll
the
miss you.
best teacher ever. I'm a little biased, but.
You should have brought an apple, Akil.
We have plenty of seats available for you to continue to participate.
Feel free to join us.
It's up to Sam.
No, I need her.
Right. Any other
Yes.
new business? It's been quite the
I
exciting
have a
meeting.
quick question.
Mhm.
So I know that there are like a number of cultural holidays coming up and some that just passed.
Mhm.
Does the city currently recognize those in any way? I know there was like lots of fireworks and a whole display, but wanted to check in on those.
Yeah, that was, so that was a Diwali celebration. I was actually at the event, and it was interesting because I was approached by a couple gentlemen who recognized this committee and would love to see some Indian representation on the committee, which I think would be great. So depending on what happens, in the future with the appointments, it would be good. But yeah, that was a celebration that was put on. So I know in the community there are groups of Indians from different parts of India that I've kind of got to know, and I'm learning more, each year. And so, it was interesting to just talk with them at their celebration, and they put on a heck of a fireworks show. I don't know if you saw or heard that, but no, they love Twinsburg, and they just want to be part of, any kind of positive changes that we can make. As for other celebrations, we do have a Hanukkah celebration, like Light the Night, that's coming up. We do kind of what we call our Christmas celebration, which is our luminosity, where we light up here. As of that, that's the only planned celebrations that we have. But the city's open to anything that, we had part of our Jewish community approach us, I think, to help start the Light the Night, and it's been a great event. I think we've been doing it almost 10 years now.
It's been quite a while, yeah.
10 years now?
Mhm.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's kind of what we have going on.
Yeah, I'd love to propose that be something that we at least run by the consultant before the end of the contract to see whether there is a more standardized way of like recognizing Juneteenth or Black History Month or Native American Heritage Day that's coming the day after Thanksgiving, just so that we're consistent. And if it's nothing else but posting it on social media that the committee is recognizing this day and the people in our community that represent those cultures, I think that is, a valiant step forward.
No, I agree.
I agree. And I saw Greg's post had some awesome pictures, and we watched the fireworks from our front yard, and that's exactly what I told my husband. I was like, seems like something Jedi should probably be a part of. So that's a great suggestion, Crystal, and I love the idea of adding that to our list of discussion points with our consultant.
Well, so
Yes,
we're
Michael.
also in the process of adding Juneteenth to our contracts and to our ordinance 147 as a additional holiday or standard holiday.
That's great.
For the city of Twinsburg as well,
Thank you for sharing that,
I just
Michael.
want to add that we also recognize Black History Month. We do a resolution. I know we had one last year. Do we do this annually, Mayor, or?
I can't remember, but.
I know we had one
I know we
last
did
year.
it last year, and I'm
Yeah.
not sure if we've formally done a resolution in the past, but it's something that, we can keep going, absolutely, recognizing, Black History Month.
And I think Women's History Month follows immediately in March. Well, I think that's kind of what you were saying, though. We want to make sure that there's some kind of standard that we're adhering to, so we're not
Yes.
leaving people out.
Right.
Yeah, we can get a calendar together
Yeah.
and have a calendar of things.
Yeah, that would be great, because,
It would be.
and we get requests for, like proclamations and resolutions and recognizing, there's like every month and every day of every month, there's the day of, donut eating, and there's everything that kind of comes through my office and my emails. So if we could come up with a formal set of what this committee would like to see, we can definitely incorporate it, because we kind of struggle with that sometimes, because we do get a lot of requests for recognizing months and days and all that kind of stuff. So.
Yeah, I have a calendar of all of those dates in my office already full. Some I was thinking about for this year, but just the middle of the year already, and we're already this month, and so I just put it to the side, was thinking about it for 2022. So just how we can do some better recognition of those months, whether here at City Hall. We don't get a lot of visitors here, but even posting things at the fitness center or around the city. So I'll send that calendar out to
Thank you.
already have it now.
Any other new business? Okay, miscellaneous? All right, everybody, our next full committee meeting will be Monday, December 13th, 6 p.m., same time, same place, and 6:33 p.m. We are adjourned.